Yeah. So I don't know how many of you felt this or not as teachers, but 16 years into my career into teaching, since 2004 I've been teaching, started at a very young age. So for the first time ever during this lockdown, the first lockdown which took place because of the corona virus, I felt the power of my students in my life, the importance of my students in my life, as how important they are and how much they mean to me. I never realized, and I seek forgiveness from my students, that your Sir Zishan never felt this in his life. Although yes, you have been very important, but that importance has always been on the level of profession. That I have to get you good grades. Beyond that, I feel that it has not been there. But now, when the gap came in for 6 months, the coronavirus, the schools were not having physical classes, the face-to-face classes. We were online. Online can never replace the physical interaction, the first face-to-face interaction, the human touch, which we need in our lives. So machines can't replace that. So once I went to school after 6 months when the schools reopened and we started our face-to-face classes, only then I could I can feel I felt that how much my students mattered to me. So I can quote numerous incidents I can quote in these 16 years. When I look back at these 16 years, I can quote numerous incidents, but I've just chosen the recent three incidents, events, which will explain as how much students are important in a teacher's life. So let's discuss the first one. I was associated with the system for 5 years, and then I switched to another system very quickly. In just a matter of day, I switched to another system, and this institution had really given me a lot of importance. And I had grown there as a teacher, and the system valued me a lot. The management tried to stop me, but I didn't listen to anything. I just left the system, gave them a teacher. Of course, I was leaving, so I didn't want my students to suffer. So see, this is all the professional, the professional bond I had with my students. So I gave them a very good teacher, and I just in a day I had left before the start of the physical classes, the face-to-face classes, because these students had been with me only online. I was taking the senior section. These were juniors. They came to me during this online sessions, and I left the system and I just went, and there was silence. Then one it was not even a week, and I get a call from the coordinator, who's very dear to me also. And I had told her that whenever you will need me, I will come. And she just asked me to come and spend some time at the school. I remember it was a Friday, and on Friday I was almost free. I had my class at 12 o'clock. So I said, okay, I'm going to come in the morning. I was expecting a farewell from the management. Okay. So nothing else. I said, maybe they are calling me, for a farewell. Maybe they have arranged something to sit together and just eat and have something. This was my expectation. So I went on the Friday, and as soon as I ascended my floor, which is the second floor in the building, first, yeah, it's the second floor, the third floor actually, yeah, third floor. So as soon as I ascended my floor and I moved towards the office, so my students were a few of my students. Now, mind you, these students had not taken face-to-face classes with me. They had only been with me online. And the moment I entered my floor, and the moment they saw me, they just came rushing down to me, and just one thing, Sir Zishan वापस आ जाए, Sir Zishan वापस आ जाए, Sir Zishan आप क्यों चले गए, Sir Zishan आप वापस आ जाए. And those, there was a cluster, and I was just taken aback, and I was still, what's going on, what is happening, and just they are just saying one thing, Sir Zishan वापस आ जाए, Sir Zishan वापस आ जाए, आप चले क्यों गए थे, आप चले क्यों गए थे. And the moment I'm just walking to the office, towards the office, as they are coming in, there was a buzz that Sir Zishan is in the school, and they're just coming out, and they are just telling me, Sir Zishan वापस आ जाए, asking me, Sir Zishan वापस आ जाए, Sir Zishan वापस आ जाए, until I went into the coordinator's room. And then we just had a few chats, and then she put forward the proposal to me to come back. And I was like, I'm already associated with the system, and I'm a professional. I just can't leave any system, whatever blunder I have done. So not a blunder actually, but whatever I've done, I will owe it at least for the session. Maybe next year I'm going to come back. But then the situation that was created in the school, and then she said, we want you back at any cost. These students just want you only. And although I have given them a very good teacher, a very professional teacher, a very nice lady, much more experienced than me. But this happened, and I was just like, I said, what to do now? I'm in a fix. And then she said, go to the principal and discuss your return with her. And I remember I was sitting outside her office. It was a September. September was quite hot. And I was in a, believe me, I was in a trance. This experience, um, of you being valued so much by your students, making you feel like any superstar. When we see our favorite actors or cricketers or sportsmen, we just rush to them for autographs and to get a selfie with them. This was the feeling, I was getting, and with this experience. And although the management, of course, the management, they were also like that, and teachers, my colleagues were asking me, "Are you coming back? Are you coming?" That's that. Of course, that is there, but. The student power I'm talking about. And I was sitting outside your office, quite hot, and I was sitting outside, and I was in a trance. I was looking at this building, this huge building in front of me, because I could get a view. I can still recall that picture, that entire thing in my mind. And there was silent, there was some whispers coming from classes. Some life is going on in these classes, some activities going on. It's a complete silence. Otherwise, it's a complete silence. I'm looking at this building and I'm feeling that power in my feet. I'm feeling that in my legs. My friends in Karachi have been telling me that the moment I made a bad decision of going to Islamabad, because I have lost my support system in Karachi. Because being an emotional being, I need support at times, emotional support at times. And they have been telling me that, you made a wrong decision. You should come back, and, because your support system lies in Islamabad. But once this happened, I told them that, I'm not, even at that time, I was planning to shift to another city. I was planning to shift to Lahore. I was making terrible decisions. I was at an all-time low in my life, and to be very honest, and but then suddenly this happened. Suddenly this cycle, started again. This, where I was, the rise was again. This was the start of that rising again, and I said, I'm not going anywhere. This is my army. This is my support. This is my support system. My students are my support system. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here, and I'm not going to leave my battlefield. This is my battlefield and this is my army. And I remember the principal came out of the office and she saw me, sir, आप अंदर जाके बैठे. Another very kind lady, another lady very dear to me. And she said to me that, sir, आप अंदर जाके बैठे हैं, आप जो है, it's very hot, you're sweating, and it's very hot. And believe me, I could not feel that hotness. I could not feel that sweating because I was in a trance. I was feeling that power in my legs and my feet, that what my students made me feel. So thank you, my dear, dear, dear students. So this was the first one. Feel that power. You just have to connect with your students on that level. We cannot be friends with them. No, we cannot be friends with our students, but they should know who's the boss. They should, of course, be knowing who's the boss, who's the teacher. That respect, that line dividing the students and the teacher must be there. But connect with them on that special level, and feel that power in your lives and the change they bring to our lives. Then the second one. Now, I was at a McDonald's drive-through with a friend of mine, and we were working on a project together. And there was a car ahead of me, and that car was behaving very strangely. Now, this is, mind you, this is a time when this Lahore motorway incident taken place, and I had a female friend with me, and the car was behaving in a very strange way. There was a guy, he was trying to back the car. I don't know, it had never happened. I had been so much, so many times we have been to the McDonald's drive-through with so many drive-throughs, but this never happened, and the car was being in a strange way. Now, and this is just few minutes, and I'm seeing and I'm noticing something that this is not right, and I'm getting offended. I'm getting, what he kya kar raha hai? What is it? Because that incident is in our minds, and I had in a few minutes I had made it up that if he tries to mess up, with my friend, then I'm going to, take him to task, whoever it is. And I decided, because I'm going to be teaching him a good lesson. And then he took that guy in the car. He also had a female sitting with him, and he just took his meal, and then he moved forward. We just had a choco cone, so we just took our choco cone, and we also moved. He signaled me to stop, and that time I was done with. And I said, मैं इसको उतर के इतना मारने वाला हूँ कि इसको मैंने अब सीधा कर देना है. How dare he? And the moment I just got out of the car, he came out of his car and he just says to me, Sir Zishan. And I'm just taken aback. I could not. This is a tall gentleman standing in front of me, very much into professional clothing, and I cannot see. I do not know who he is actually. And then he says, "Sir Zishan." I said, "Kaun?" And he says, "Sir, मैं." He took his name. I'm not taking his name. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was my underdog. I had made a farewell picture with them. Yeah, and that picture is in a very raw form is on my page also on Facebook, Zishan Khan Films. And this guy takes his name, and the first thing that comes out of my mouth is my underdog. And I get so excited. The cone is melting. I'm trying to hold back my cone. We're talking and we're laughing. And he has moved to Islamabad now. He's a very innocent looking boy. That's why I casted him in that underdog, because I wanted a guy with that innocent face. Now he's a tall, grown-up gentleman standing in front of me in professional clothing, doing his job, and meeting him in another city altogether, and he recognizes me, and he's so excited, and he tells me that this guy has moved to Islamabad also, and we are planning a farewell, we are planning a get together, and we'll call you, because we've got so much memories with you. Believe me, that Sir Zishan जो उसने कहा था ना, that Sir Zishan had so much of apanapan into it that I was in a rage, and that rage just went down the drain the moment he said Sir Zishan, because I knew that it was some student of mine. I cannot recognize him, but he's there and he's my student. And then meeting a student from all the way who was once your student in Karachi, now meeting another city, recognizing you, giving you so much importance that he's actually, he stops his car and to greet. Even if he had moved, I would not have had any clue that who was that person. But it really made me feel so important in life, that these are my students. Like I said, they are the army, they are my army. And then third incident is quite funny. We were about to have our assessments just after the this when we resumed school activity, physical activity, face-to-face activity. I went in one of my classes and we were about to have assessments, and they asked me for the syllabus, and I said whatever we have studied up till now, which obviously meant that whatever we have studied since the time we came back after vacations, because there are few vacations, and then whatever we have studied since then, and to date whatever we are studying, it's in the paper. And I very much knew that a stupid question will be coming in, sir जो सब कुछ पढ़ा है, यानी कि वो जो हमने चैप्टर नंबर 1 से पढ़ा हुआ है, आई न्यू। एंड एज एक्सपेक्टेड ऐसे ही हुआ कि बिल्कुल कुछ सेकंड्स के बाद मुझे आ गया, सर मतलब चैप्टर 1 से सब कुछ आ रहा है। And then I decided to play a prank on them. I said, "Huh," and there was a complete silence in the class. Complete silence in the class. They were in a shock. They know they can't challenge me, and they know if I were to give the syllabus from chapter number 1 to chapter number 9, they have to accept it. They have no other choice. So, they just they were looking at me with this utter disbelief. A few of them, intelligent ones, they knew I was fooling around, so they had this naughty smile on my face. They're looking at me with that naughty smile. I'm looking at them with that naughty smile. The eye contact we are having, and these others, with busted eyes, they're in utter disbelief. What has happened? And some of them giving up. नहीं सर नहीं हो सकता, हम तो कर ही नहीं सकते सर, मैं तो पढ़ूंगा ही नहीं, मैं तो हो ही नहीं सकता. Different reactions, and then half of the class was online, half the class was in the class. A voice comes from my laptop and says, "Sir, इतना बड़ा syllabus." And I said, "हाँ, इतना बड़ा syllabus." And I'm having this laughter on my face. They are looking at me that, but they are unable to judge that, most of them, that few of them knew that I was just fooling around, but just playing a prank. And believe me, I kept that suspense for 35 minutes. That suspense of 35 minutes, when I'm looking at their faces, I'm still recalling all these, things are coming in my mind right now. I can actually relive them again. And I'm looking at their faces. I'm not naming them, but I'm looking at that person, that student of mine, and he's looking at me. Sir, रहम कर दें थोड़ा सा, sir, please come कर दें. The only thing in their mind at that time, and it was so funny. I was getting laughters and smiles on my face, and 35 minutes I kept them into this suspense. And then 35 minutes, this is when the last 5 minutes were there, I told them it's just a prank, and your syllabus is from this to this. And that was a relief, and we laughed out so much. And then the intelligence were telling me, "Sir, we knew you were fooling with them." So, you can never get this experience anywhere in your life. I'm a teacher by accident. I never wanted to be a teacher. I never planned to be a teacher. I had some other aims in life, which kept on changing, right from being a naval officer to being a top marketer. But I know why am I here now. Why am I into this profession? Why is this profession important? Why am I still into this profession? And I will be in this profession forever. I love my teaching more after this. I always love teaching, Now I love my teaching even more. My entire perspective of going to the school changed after this. My entire perspective of entering into a class changed because I can take those energies, those raw energies from my students, They have these raw energies. We as we age, we our energies tend to get corrupt because of whatever life gives us, our energies go down. But these are the students who have got raw energies. The younger ones, the younger they are, the raw the energy. फिर भी बच्चे ही हैं, and this experience can only come in school teaching, from the kindergarten up till the A levels, from the kindergarten up till the metric inter. You can only get this, because in the at the university level you won't be able to get this experience, you won't be able to enjoy your classes. It's just about connecting with your students on that level. They know who's the teacher, they know who's the boss, they can't challenge you, they respect you, they respect the authority, but you just have to connect with them on that special bonding. You have to create that special bonding in your with your students and then see the difference. So, I'm sharing this with you because we tend to celebrate the Teachers' Day. Even I've got memories of Teachers' Day. Still my old students, my current students sending me messages on Teachers' Day or on my birthdays. They are very important. As I said, I can quote numerous incidents. But there should be a students day also, whereby I believe there should be a students day also, whereby we acknowledge our, as teachers, we acknowledge the importance of our students in our lives. And there should be a students day. And thank you. This is a message to all my students. Thank you, right from Arfa and Samir, my very first batch. Arfa, who was the youngest Microsoft programmer at that time in Pakistan, I believe, a programmer or whatever, I'm not very sure about it. But she was the youngest something for Microsoft in Pakistan. I was this young guy, and she was very apprehensive about me in the beginning, even offending me at times that, yeah, are you telling them? Because I was teaching at an academy at that time. Beacon House and all these institutions came later. So, and I was just doing it for fun, just to earn some money, just to not to be a burden on my father. So, although whatever amount I was getting, my father was giving me much more than that as a pocket money only. But this was just an experience, a time of self recognition, taking up responsibilities in life, the growing up age, the coming of age. So I remember Afra was very apprehensive about me in the beginning, but then she trusted me, the institution trusted me, and she got her grade, the deserved grade. She got the dedication she had as a student, she got that grade. And Samir, who was a very dull student, and the institution telling me, sir, iska to agar sirf सी भी आ जाए तो बहुत बड़ी बात होगी. And Samir, I remember, I told him that, I'm not going to let you appear if you don't start working hard. And he started crying like a baby. And then I'm consoling him, I'm motivating him, and he got a B. So right from Arfa and Samir, my first students who appeared for Islamic and Pakistan studies under my directions, till my latest batch, in my institutions, and till the time I'm teaching, which is probably a lifetime. Until my institutions tell me, you know, um, please, sir, we don't need you anymore. And life, whatever life does to me, I'm going to be a teacher till the last breath of my life, and I'm proud of it. So thank you, all my students. Since that time, since 2004, right from Atfa and Sami to my latest batch, to the batches which I will be teaching till the time I'm teaching. For me, it will be a lifetime until, as I said, my institutions tell me, sir, we don't need you anymore. And I'm going to be a school teacher, and I'm proud to be a school teacher, because this only can come in school teaching. The younger ones, you will feel that more in the younger ones, the kindergarten ones, the beautiful smiles, the innocence. The younger they are, the better it is. Just need to connect with them on that special level. So I miss you all, and the students who have passed, I miss you all. The birthdays you celebrated for me, I remember how excited you were, as if it was your own birthdays. Those birthdays are so memorable to me. Maybe one day I'm going to be speaking about that also. The way they used to celebrate my birthdays, and they remembered my birthdays, and they were, contributing those little monies. Of course, they're not earning, so they would contribute and get the best of the arrangements done. So I miss you all, and Sir Zishan misses you. And thank you for being my students. I'm proud to be your teacher.